This book is full of condom shredding sex, okay? And here's the proof. I nearly shredded the condom to come inside her. The need to possess her ran that deep. This book came with some fun facts, okay? Vanessa always smells like apples and vanilla. Like, this is one of the main reasons why Darren is so attracted to Vanessa. Fun fact number 2, the sex they have is condom shredding worthy. Fun fact number 3, Vanessa has a really good singing voice because her dad's a musician, and her dad also abandoned her when she was a baby. So I guess that's like fun fact 3.5. Fun fact number 4, Maya is pregnant with a boy. She finds out that she's pregnant right before the wedding, her wedding to Cam. All right, Katie, book number 2 in the Bridge series, Into the Fire. Cam's older brother, Darren, he is a firefighter, a New York firefighter, okay? And he loves it. Vanessa is Maya's best friend. She works at the same company that Maya did. She's a personal assistant to one of those big like hedge fund or investment guys. Her boss is one of those workaholic assholes, but she's just gaining the experience of being an assistant. So she's building her career. She puts up with the long hours and all of the strange requests. Vanessa and Darren, they first meet at that club when Maya and Cameron were getting back together. They all went as friends. They all went to that club where Gia kissed Maya. That's where Darren and Vanessa met. He has never been in a committed relationship. Everything is all booty calls, okay? But he is immediately smitten with Vanessa. A couple of nights before they left for the wedding, Darren says hi to Vanessa at a bar, like karaoke night or something, and Vanessa had gotten up to sing. She has like the best singing voice because her dad is a musician. I think her mom is a musician too, but her mom is remarried to someone else because her dad just abandoned them, maybe like before she was born or something. So she's got a great singing voice, and Darren is immediately even more smitten with her. Cameron told him that Vanessa is off limits. It might jeopardize Cam and Maya getting together. But now that they're like for sure a couple and getting married, then Darren's like, well, that's not gonna be a problem anymore, right? They're both going to the destination wedding. He approaches Vanessa again and says, hey, do you want to see where this can go? And she's like, well, you're kind of a playboy and I don't want my heart broken. And he's like, well, can you just give me a chance? So she agrees to give him a chance the week of Maya and Cam's wedding. Like their wedding, it's gonna take a week. He convinces her. They have a lot of fun. But the first night that they have sex, he kind of freaks out from all of this emotion that he's feeling towards her. After they have sex, takes a shower or something, and she's feeling really abandoned or like really vulnerable. And so she just leaves while he's in the shower, and he comes back out, sees that she's gone, and is like, oh shit, what did I do? So she's totally mad at him. So after that first night, Darren apologizes and said, I was an asshole. Can you please give me another chance? He's all freaked out of all of these emotions that he's feeling towards her. She's kind of really honest back and saying, yeah, I like you, but I know that you're just gonna break my heart. He's like, well, give me a chance. Like, let's take it one day at a time. After the wedding, they both went back to New York. Vanessa was expecting for their little fling to just be over, but Darren didn't have that thought at all. He's like, I'm ready for like a relationship. I want to keep dating you. He keeps having to convince Vanessa to trust him because of his booty call past. He has like a string of these girls that constantly text him. After one night, Vanessa finds his phone and accidentally sees a racy text from some rando girl. I'm sorry you had to see that. You are the only girl that I want. I am not having sex with any of those girls anymore. I only want you. To fix that, he changed his number. But then trouble came. Soon after she got back from the wedding, her boss promotes her. I'm leaving the company and I'm starting my own company. I want you to continue to be my personal assistant and I'm going to double your income. And she's thinking, well, I hope this will work out. No. Well, he kind of had other motives. He was in the middle of a divorce with his wife, or maybe like the divorce had just been finalized. She had to go travel with him to the Hamptons so that he could also get some work done while he was there because he had a funeral to go to. His grandma died. Well, one night he got a little drunk, came on to her, and she found out that he wanted more than just her being his personal assistant. We could be a great team together. I could provide you with a great living, be his little his little mistress. She doesn't want that. At least he didn't force himself onto her. She calls Darren, and Darren gets all pissed off and almost goes to the Hamptons, but he doesn't. After they flew back to New York from the Hamptons, Darren met both of them at the airport, punched him and broke his nose for touching Vanessa. Vanessa got mad at both of them, but she especially got mad at Darren because of his temper. They're like both mad at each other. Darren just needs to deal with his emotions. And later on, Vanessa's boss also confronts Darren alone. You should be glad I didn't press charges that you broke my nose. So instead, I found out that I knew your parents, and Darren's parents donated like $1 million to his financial company, whatever it was, hedge fund, I don't know what it's called. And Darren's like, whatever, I don't care about my parents. He's trying to ruin Darren's life. Darren and Vanessa are kind of on rocky grounds, but they're still dating. Darren tells Vanessa that he is in love with her, but she doesn't say it back, although she did love him. One night, she goes to his work and they have this awesome sex on his desk. Like, she's not supposed to be at the fire station to begin with, but then they have sex in his office. That's like even more not supposed to happen. He feels guilty about all this happening. He feels overwhelmed that she won't say I love you back, and she's still kind of defending her boss a little bit. And he's just like, maybe we should just take a step back and take a break. And Vanessa gets super offended about this. Again, he had sex with her and then, like brushing her off, saying we should take a break. So she gets really depressed, and they're broken up for like a couple of days, maybe like a week or two. They both said and did hurtful things to each other. Side note, her ex-boyfriend, like from high school or something, who is from Florida but is in New York for some conference, they get in touch. He's like, hey, I'd love to catch up with you. So she goes out to dinner. She gets caught talking to him outside the restaurant, and Darren sees her from across the street. Of course he sees her from across the street and gets all jealous. How can she just move on so quickly when I am so in love with her? How can she not? I feel her emotions. I feel that she loves me. How can she, like, who is this guy? That's what he's thinking. But it's totally not like that. And then the second thing that happens to Vanessa while her and Darren are kind of taking this break, she finds all of this money her boss had been laundering. He was kind of using this business to launder money through. She finds all these offshore accounts, comes into contact somehow with Gia, the girl who came on to Maya and tried to get Maya promotion through having sex with their boss. Gia kind of wants to put away this guy too. Gia's like, okay, get all this information. And of course, Vanessa, being his personal assistant, has access to all of these files. So puts it all in a flash drive. If I'm going to make all of this information public, I'm going to be fired. So I better do it at the right time. Well, the day came when Darren had to go out on a firefighter run to this burning building, and he gets really hurt. Like, he gets trapped in a room and ends up in the hospital, like a broken arm and a broken leg. Vanessa gets a text saying that he was in the hospital. She just has this, not change of mind, but she just needs to be with Darren. And it's like in the middle of the day, like in the middle of a work day, and she just gets up out of the middle of a meeting and just leaves. And her boss is like, where are you going? And she's like, my boyfriend is in the hospital. I have to go. It's an emergency. And he's like, if you leave, you're fired. And she's like, okay, perfect opportunity. And then after she quit her job, release the information. Part of these offshore accounts included this charity him and his ex-wife had started, and his ex-wife was kind of like the head of the charity. So Vanessa gave all of this offshore accounting and this money laundering information to her so that she could destroy him. And then she's back together with Darren, and she apologizes and he apologizes. They both confess their love for each other. Her new job ended up being a part of this charity, like as the events coordinator or something. And part of one of the events coordinator was that she was able to sing and be musical and do something that used her talents, and her and Darren got engaged and lived happily ever after. The next book is about Olivia. Darren's sister fell in love with someone. I think it's gonna be good too. I'm Darren Bridge. You must be the man who thinks he can put his hands all over my girlfriend. Moments like these brought us together and convinced me that Darren was the only one I could ever love. He'd wanted to ruin me, and he had.